Like life is unfair? Most of us have experienced that feeling at some point. It's a quiet ache that settles in when things just don't seem to go our way, no matter how hard we try. Sometimes it feels like the world is moving on without us, and we're left behind, wondering what we did wrong. Sometimes it just seems like other people have it so easy. You look around and see people smiling, celebrating, and achieving things you've only dreamed of. Their lives appear effortless, filled with joy and success, while you're stuck dealing with challenges that never seem to end. Sometimes it even feels like those who cut corners or make questionable choices are the ones who get ahead. They might be doing wrong things, but still, they are successful. It's confusing and frustrating to see people who don't play by the rules getting all the rewards, while you're left struggling. And here we are, trying to do the right things, but facing one problem after another. You put in the effort, you make sacrifices, and you try to stay true to your values, but it feels like life keeps throwing obstacles in your path. It's exhausting, and sometimes you wonder if it's even worth it. It can be really disheartening. The weight of disappointment can make you feel isolated, as if no one else understands what you're going through. You might even start to lose hope, questioning whether things will ever get better. In moments like these, we might start to question God. We wonder if He's listening, if He cares, or if He's forgotten about us altogether. It's natural to feel lost and to search for answers when life doesn't make sense. We might wonder why He allows such injustice to happen. Why do good people suffer while others seem to thrive without a care? These questions can weigh heavily on our hearts, making us feel even more alone in our struggles. We might even feel envious of those who seem to prosper without consequences. These feelings are natural, and you're not alone in having them. It's okay to acknowledge your pain and confusion. Remember, everyone faces their own battles, even if you can't always see them. Psalm 73 speaks directly to the deep, unsettling emotions many of us experience at some point in our lives. It's a psalm that doesn't shy away from the hard questions, the doubts, and the confusion that can arise when we look at the world around us and see things that just don't seem fair. The psalmist, Asaph, was a faithful and upright man, someone who genuinely tried to live a life pleasing to God. He sought to do what was right, to walk in integrity, and to keep his heart pure. Yet, as he looked around, he couldn't help but notice that those who ignored God's ways seemed to be thriving. The wicked, those who acted selfishly and without regard for others, were prospering in ways that seemed almost effortless. They were arrogant, flaunting their success and laughing at those who tried to live honestly. It seemed as if they faced no consequences for their actions, and this left Asaph deeply troubled and confused. He began to question everything he believed. Doubt crept in, and he wondered if his faithfulness even mattered. Was all his effort to live a good life in vain? Is it pointless to have a pure heart? He asked himself. The struggle was real, and the questions weighed heavily on his mind. He felt as if he was losing his footing, like he was slipping on a rocky path, unsure of where to turn next. This is a struggle that resonates with so many of us. We all face moments when we question why things happen the way they do, and why those who seem to do wrong often get ahead. In our daily lives, we see examples everywhere, at work, in our communities, even in the news, of people who bend the rules and still come out on top. People cheat, lie, and manipulate their way to the top, and it can make us wonder if doing the right thing is worth it. Asaph's struggle is timeless, and it invites us to wrestle honestly with our own doubts and questions. But then, Asaph had a change of heart. He entered the sanctuary of God. He remembered God's power and His love. In God's presence, Asaph found clarity. He realized that the prosperity of the wicked is temporary. God will judge everyone according to their deeds. This realization brought peace to Asaph's heart. He understood that true happiness comes from being close to God. Psalm 73 verse 28 says, "But as for me, it is good to be near God." These words are a gentle invitation, reminding us that in the midst of our busy lives, there is nothing more precious than drawing close to God. When we intentionally seek His presence, we find a peace that the world cannot offer. It's in these quiet moments when we pause and turn our hearts toward Him that we discover a sense of belonging and comfort that fills our souls. This is honestly such a powerful reminder for us. Life can be overwhelming, and sometimes we feel like we're walking through it alone. But this verse encourages us to remember that God is always near, ready to listen, guide, and support us. No matter what we're facing, we can find hope and reassurance in His presence. It's a comfort to know that we are never truly alone, even in our hardest moments. When we feel lost and confused, we need to draw near to God. In those times when our path seems uncertain, or when we're burdened by worries and doubts, God invites us to come closer. He welcomes us with open arms, offering understanding and love. By spending time in prayer, reading scripture, or simply sitting in silence, we can reconnect with Him and find the clarity and strength we need to move forward. Another verse, Psalm 73, verse 26 says, "My flesh and my heart may fail," reminding us that we are human and imperfect. We all have moments of weakness, when our strength runs out and our hearts feel heavy. It's okay to admit that we can't do everything on our own. In fact, acknowledging our limitations is the first step toward finding true strength. But God is the strength of my heart and my portion forever. This means that even when we feel like we have nothing left to give, God steps in to carry us. He becomes our source of hope, our anchor in the storm, and the steady foundation we can always rely on. His love and faithfulness never run out, no matter how many times we stumble. This tells us that even when we are weak, God is our strength. He lifts us up when we are down, and He gives us courage to face whatever comes our way. We can trust Him with our fears and our failures, knowing that He will never let us go. His strength is made perfect in our weakness, and His grace is always enough. He will never leave us nor forsake us. No matter where we are or what we're going through, God's love remains constant. Let these words of wisdom encourage you today. Draw near to God, lean on His strength, and remember that you are never alone. Life can be tough. We might not always understand why things happen the way they do, but we can trust in God's plan. We need to remember that God is in control. He sees the bigger picture. Our job is to stay close to Him, to trust Him, and to keep doing the right thing even when it's hard. When we do this, we will find true peace and lasting joy. God bless you.